Hey, it's the Average Guy coming to you with a special auto review. Now, a little while back I said I'd be putting up my own vehicle, the 2015 Jeep Renegade. About 8 months ago, I leased this. When I saw this vehicle at the 2014 New York International Auto Show, I sort of fell in love with it. I've always been a Jeep fan, but I thought that this was like the cutest little thing. Interestingly enough, I believe that the exact color that I have was the color that they had at the show. The color is called Anvil, and it's sort of a mix between like green and gray. And I have the TrailHawk model, so it's got the black graphics on the hood and the top on the roof. And it also has a little bit of a lifted package. Not that I really think I'm going to be doing a lot of off-roading, but you never know. First thing I'm gonna do is, I have a buddy on Twitter who reached out to me a while back and he said, you know, you like everything you review. What gives? Why do you like everything you review? All right, so without getting into a long story, I've gotten a little bit more critical. So like when your kid plays a sport and you're the coach, you're like really hard on your kid, I'm gonna be hard on this vehicle. All right, so the things I don't like right up front. There are no cup holders in the back seat. No cup holders. There are water bottle holders that are kind of slanted in the door cards, but they're no traditional, you put the armrest down and there are 2 cup holders, or a cup holder like in front of you on the armrest column. No cup holders. When you're looking at a vehicle, there are certain things that you just take for granted. They have cup holders.
No cup holders. The
back seat is somewhat cramped. Now, usually I'm just carting around little people, but if you have to deal with like bigger people, the back seat of this vehicle is just not gonna do it. So limited room in the back seat, no cup holders, the creature comforts section of this vehicle. Also, it's got a tiny trunk, comparatively. So when I was looking at the other Jeeps, I was looking at the Jeep Cherokee and even the Grand Cherokee, there's not a lot of trunk space. Now, for the size of the vehicle, it probably has a pretty okay trunk space, but I had a Toyota Camry prior to this, and that had just a ginormous trunk space and back seat, and it came with cup holders.
No cup holders.
The other pet peeve that I have is that this vehicle has a really small gas tank. Now, you would think that'd be a cool thing, but I think it's like a 12, 13 gallon tank at tops. So if you're going on long drives, I go on like a 90-mile commute when I go into work. After a commute like that, I mean, you almost have to buy more gas. So while you're not paying for it at the pump, it can be a little aggravating when you have to, you know, keep getting over to Sunoco or Shell. One other little negative bit is the transmission. Got a little flaky on me, like almost a month or 2 ago. But I took it into the dealer and they did some software updates. It's amazing. They update the transmission software now in these cars.
No cup holders.
Now, the good spots, the things I really like about it, first of all, it's got an award-winning interior design. All right, I don't know what award it won, but I remember it won an award. So really nice interior design. You know, it's built well, lots of soft touch materials around the cabin. There's a really nice work of red in the dash, around the speakers. Simple, rugged, very nice. Now, I have this tiny little touchscreen display. That's one other pet peeve, because I believe in the 2015 model they only had this like 4-inch display, but now the 2016s have the bigger, like 7 or 8-inch display. That kind of aggravates me too, but for the most part, I really love the interior, the environment. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's got the TrailHawk logo emblazoned here, and there's also sort of a map relief here, and you've got the nice contrast red stitching here. So there's attention to detail in this vehicle. Now, also in and around the Jeep, there are all these like little, what I heard called Easter eggs, little Jeep symbols and little icons that are hidden. Like there's one in the windshield, there's one up here behind the mirror, the rear view mirror. There's a couple down here that wrap the speaker. Little Jeep logos, which is interesting. It's a nice, interesting touch. People get a kick out of it. They're all around the interior and exterior of the Jeep. There's one in the back, in the tail light, just all over. So you can look for all these Easter eggs. The vehicle itself, from a driving perspective, is very, very comfortable. You've got a very high vantage point of the road, especially with the TrailHawk model. Again, I'm on a little bit of a lift. And surprisingly enough, it's a really, really well composed and fun vehicle to drive. And when I first got in it, it seemed a little odd, but as you get used to driving it around, you have the feeling of a Jeep, sort of rugged, rough and tumble, and it has a little bit of pep. I'm running a 2.4 liter Tiger Shark engine. It does the job with the exception of the little bit of the flaky transmission.
No cup holders.
Now the exterior design of this vehicle, again, the TrailHawk model I think looks the best because it does have those black details and the rugged nature of it. It's either you love it or you hate it. Like, some people have told me like this is the ugliest vehicle they've ever seen. And then other people are like, yeah! It definitely makes an impression wherever you go. It's not your typical vanilla. Now the one thing I will say about having a Jeep, the Jeep community, when you own a Jeep and you talk to other people that own Jeeps, it's like you're welcome to the family. And that's been really fun. So I am like a proud Jeep owner. Shout out to the Jeep Mafia. Those folks on Twitter are just awesome. I got my man Josh on Twitter and just a bunch of people I've met just because we're Jeep enthusiasts. Again, guys, I'm sorry I've been so late with this video. I'm gonna post an update to this video in the next 6 or 7 months just to let you know if I've had any issues, problems, how I still feel about my little Jeep. But in the meantime, I'll get more reviews out soon. I wanna thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep pushing play all day. Push play all day. By the way, I wanna thank my little girl Haley for helping me do the review of this vehicle. It's always a blast to have a little helper, and Haley is the absolute best. Thank you, girl.